Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today I'm going to be talking about like a feature that I like in Wizard101, and it's actually pretty cool, but over time becomes less so. It's just me commenting on it because I think it's cool to raise attention to it, whatnot. Also just expressing my thoughts. So this is a different type of video. This is kind of like a thought video, and that is being overleveled in Wizard101. The title of this video is probably going to be like being overleveled in Wizard101, but what I mean to comment on is the struggle to upkeep that in the beginning of the game, turning into the ease of it at the end of the game. So, starting off, if you don't know how being overleveled works, basically you do side quests and you get to a higher level than what you should be. I've done this for every one of my Let's Play series. It's how I work. I love being overleveled because it's much easier to play the game, and it's just funner to me that way. And the way to do it is to do a lot of side quests, obviously. So my Balanced Let's Play series, for example, I was always about 5 levels over until I got to about Avalon. And now this is what I wanted to comment on specifically, is that being overleveled is a very finite thing. It's very difficult for one reason alone. Think of it like this, right? Is the XP is increasing at a rate of like a steady rate like this. So like if you're in math class, y over x on a graph, right? So a flat 1 for slope. The XP for levels are increasing at about a y equals 2x. So it's like this. That's right. So it's like this versus this. I know that this is a funny visual, but I wanted to express that. So what that does is it makes it so that you can be 5 levels over at level 20, but you're still going to be level 80 at the end of Zafaria, at the end of Avalon, because the XP per level is always increasing at a higher rate. One reason why I'd like to point this out is, for example, a lot of people mention that adding another side world at a low level would break the XP overall, because it would add a bunch of levels. It wouldn't, because even if say at the end of Mushu, instead of being level 40, you're level say 45, that's still gonna eventually even back out probably around level 70 or 80. And I think it's important to note that, because no matter how much you get above that cap, you will always fall back down unless you continue doing side quests. And this is true for up until about Azteca. And I've noticed that, right? Is like on every wizard that I stop doing side quests, I stop being overleveled, because eventually my level falls back into that. But what I want to comment on now is how I dislike immensely how they did Chrysalis and Polaris, because in both cases they give you way too much XP. Specifically, Chrysalis gives you too much XP, because in Chrysalis, nowadays, you're entering at about level 91, and you're getting to level 100 in about the Ruined Alcazar, which is after part 1 of Chrysalis. Which, to put that into perspective, that means that when you're supposed to hit level 100 at the end of Chrysalis, you're hitting halfway through Chrysalis. So they've kind of flubbed the XP there. The XP gains in Chrysalis are way too much. And it's funny because it's not even the number of XP on the quests, it's the sheer amount of quests that there are. Because if you look at it, there's so many quests that give like 50k XP that you get immensely overleveled. So for example, I was level 106 on my death and both my balance when I finished Chrysalis, which is very overleveled. And then you take Polaris into account, where Polaris also gives a lot of XP. For example, my death here isn't even 20% done with Polaris, and I'm already level 108. I'm most likely going to finish at about 115, 116, which is crazy, because if you think about it, that's where you're supposed to be when you're halfway done through Mirage, not at the end of Polaris. So this entire video was me commenting on that, is that overleveled, you were overleveled at the end of the game because of King's Isle, not because of yourself, which I dislike. I want King's Isle to change that, because I actually immensely enjoyed the struggle and upkeeping being over leveled at a lower level. That was really fun. Like, for example, my balance did every side quest in Crocotopia, Marleybone, and Mushu just so I could stay ahead of the game so I could solo. But that's not the case late game, and there's no reason for me to do side quests late game because the main quest already gives me so much XP that I am vastly above the current level that I should be by that point. I don't think I'm going to drag this on for too much longer. I think that's all I really wanted to mention. I wanted to mention how I just wish that I could go back to that, because like I really wish that my death, for example, had a reason to do side quests, but he doesn't. There's really no reason to do any side quests in Polaris because I'm already so over leveled that being more over leveled doesn't make sense. And especially when you consider the fact that to get the Dragoon gear, it isn't just a flat 130, it's also you need to finish Imperia Part 1. So realistically, there's no reason for me to get to 130 early because I can't get Dragoon gear early anyway. So that just is an annoyance to me. It's something I wanted to go over, and I wanted you guys to you know, comment below what you think of being over leveled and what you think of how they did side quests. I think that the problem with it's just that the problem with it is that they increased it like that. And another thing that annoys me that I'm thinking about now is they actually capped the level cap, or the XP cap, at a certain point. I believe 2.5 million for level 110 to 130, and then from 130 onwards is 1.25 million, which basically means that they're going to be having quests so that the quests give lower amount of XP, which is okay. It's something that's necessary. I just really wish they'd go back to Chrysalis, and I think they need to rework their XP system in Chrysalis, because Chrysalis makes you way too overleveled, and it makes you way too overleveled for the coming worlds. And I think that it's really cool to be the level that, around the level that you should be in the world. You shouldn't be 10 levels over. You should only be able to get 5 levels over, and that should be on your own volition, not through the main quest. So that's all I really wanted to say. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you like how the current level system is? I just wanted to make this video because I've been thinking about it for a while. I just think it's really cool to visualize how the XP works and why you can do as many side quests as you want early game and still be the same level once you get like done with Safaria. I think that's important to note, and something really cool. So that's all I wanted to say. See you in the next video. Have a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching. Adios.